So in this video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do the ghost ball technique actually on a table. And yeah, you'll notice that it's super easy when you actually have some like a physical table to look at rather than just some words. So we'll set up a shot sort of like this, and yeah, you'll notice that this is it's a weird cut shot, right? And it's gonna obviously we're gonna have to take a shot something like that off the center to make this ball here. So yeah, the ghost ball technique really comes in handy with these shots. So the first thing you want to do actually before you even touch the ghost ball is you want to draw that line through the center of your object ball, which is the ball you're trying to pocket, and through the middle of the pocket you're trying to get it into. So you notice that the lines look something like this. So let's take this line and let's put a ghost ball right behind, just touching it, just like that, right? And that's, you can just, if you're playing a real game, just imagine that ball instead of actually putting it there. So that's what that's going to look like. That'll simulate that if this was a straight on shot, that's what it's going to look like, right? And actually this point right here, you can't see it, but right here behind the 12 ball, where the two balls touch, is the contact point, right? And yeah, so that's what your ghost ball is going to look like. Easy. And then the next thing you want to do is draw your aiming line. And so the aiming line, remember, goes through the cue ball, through the ghost ball, their centers, that is. So through the center of your cue ball and through the center of your ghost ball, that's your aiming line, which will look something like that in this case. Okay? And note that the contact point is actually here, but our aiming line doesn't go through the contact point. And that's okay because we're on an angle here, that the contact point will be still where they touch, but we won't aim for that contact point, because if we do aim for that contact point, our shot will be a different shot. Okay? So yeah, just make sure you're going through the center of the ghost ball and the center of the cue ball. And that's all you need. So next you just take away this ball and keep in mind that line right there. Okay? The next thing you want to do is line up your entire cue with that aiming line. Let's show that one more time, but back here a bit. So you make sure it's going through the centers, right? And then this is your aiming line all the way through, and you have to make sure your cue follows that line exactly. Like that means from the tip to the back, or like to this point, I guess, would be easier to visualize. Because say you're aiming the tip of your cue at the center of this ghost ball, but like if I go like this, it's still aimed at the center of this ball, but it's not following our true aim line, which is going to actually drive the ball off somewhere this way. Because remember, the cue ball, with our follow through and everything, the cue ball just travels exactly that straight line that our cue went along. So you got to make sure that from like the tip to the end of the cue, the whole thing follows the aiming line. And that's actually like where people will make their biggest mistake, is that they'll probably aim somewhere here and be like, oh yeah, like the tip matches with that, so that's good. But it's not, it's slightly off. So yeah, just make sure the line is completely straight from the tip to end. And yeah, just take this ball away, and let's see how it works out. So one more time, let me draw those lines for you guys. So that's our first line there, and this is our second line here, just like that. Okay? Take this ball away, and we're just going to take that shot. Easy as pie.